Hi everyone, this is Diana Palm. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about spiritual attack, grief, and the reason why you need some spiritual clearing to help you through this time that we're living in. We are literally living in a global time of spiritual attack. And I know you know this because many of your friends have lost jobs. Depression is at an all-time high. There are more suicides. There are global events impacting everybody on a very personal level. And that's why I decided to make this video to help you understand what we're going through and how you can better protect yourself and heal and protect your energy so that you can become part of the solution instead of part of the problem. This is something going on all over the world and it affects the collective. In a very, very simplified version, I'm going to explain to you what happens with the increase of all the losses that we've experienced, all the deaths in the past few years, which are staggeringly high, and so many of you are suffering with grief. So when we have, in my very simple depiction here, we've got a lot of people dying close together at the same time. This is what I call a mass exit. A lot of you are grieving the losses that you've experienced. It hasn't just been one loss at a time, it's been cumulative. What happens with a mass death is that there are many more of you suffering, many more of the bereaved experiencing grief at the same time. In terms of the emotional frequency chart by Dr. David Hawkins, we have grief coming in at a pretty low number. Grief is experienced at only a 75, and that means that you are more susceptible to spiritual attack than other people. So when we move into neutrality, for instance, that's a 250, love is a 500, peace is 600, and enlightenment is 700. The only thing lower than grief is guilt, which is 30, and shame, which is 20. Now, I didn't fill in all the numbers here because my chart is rather small, but I think you get the idea. When you are in bereavement, when you're experiencing grief, when you've had so many losses, and it's compounded the effect of grief for you, we are actually vibrating at 75. And more people are vibrating down at 75 now than ever before. Around the world, more and more people are suffering in bereavement and grief, which is vibrating at 75. And this leaves you wide open for spiritual attack. And that's why we're seeing an increase of spiritual attack with the collective. What does spiritual attack look like and feel like? It can be a heavy state of depression, a lot of mental confusion. It can make you feel unmotivated. It can have families fighting, people breaking up, divorce, financial problems, just loss of hope in the collective. When you begin to experience spiritual attack, it will exasperate it. It will really make you feel hopeless. You will probably also experience a basic loss of faith. You may have a lot of nightmares. You may be feeling unmotivated and knowing how to get out of it. You might be reaching for things to bring joy into your life that may be also going hand in hand with creating a lot of addictions right now. And that's a smoke screen for a lot of the spiritual attacks and the lower vibrational energies. A lot of the negative entities that we work with and clear hover down in the lower vibrations because that's where you're the most vulnerable and highly susceptible to getting an attachment. There's a couple things that I would highly recommend in terms of shifting your energy and really being able to vibrate in those higher numbers to keep spiritually clear and protected. Number one, I have my spiritual warrior course online. It is a training. I think it's high time that this is available for all of you. I've been teaching mediums, healers, and mystics for 30 years. It's time, I really feel, that all of you know what to do to protect your spiritual energy and to clear your spiritual energy, to clear your own attachments, to cross over ghosts, to get rid of demons. This is the time in our Earth's evolution where every individual needs to be spiritually awakened and prepared. And I don't think you need to be prepared for battle. I do think you need to be spiritually prepared and cleansed and protected. When you are doing all those things, there is no battle because you've already taken care of it. You've already cleared off anything impacting you negatively, you've been able to raise your vibration and stay in a protective energy where you're not susceptible to spiritual attack. If one person in each family would do this, you could teach it to the rest of your family and begin shifting the vibration on earth. Now, the second thing that I have is my spiritual grief healing program. If you have experienced mass exits, if you've experienced multiple deaths at the same time, and your heart is heavy with grief and you feel an unfinished business, you didn't get to say goodbye, the loss of a loved one feels like it was just not timely, it was too soon, and you're just wrought with grief, please sign up for my very specific spiritual grief healing program and help you connect with your loved one and help answer, resolve, and heal all the spiritual energies that feel broken in you right now. These are the two ways that you can actually take responsibility for your own energy and vibration to do your healing, learn your spiritual skills and protection, and heal your heart and vibration so that you can get up into the higher vibrations. The more people we have vibrating higher, let's say if we go up from grief, and fear is only 100. Fear is plaguing everybody. So even if you haven't lost a loved one, you may still be experiencing fear. Still a very low number coming in at only 100. That is what your personal frequency is. And that is really making you susceptible to spiritual attack. So we want to get first into neutrality. We want to heal our heart. We want to do all the spiritual healings necessary to bring your vibration up into love, getting you back into joy, and getting you into peace, which is 600. The only one higher than that is enlightenment, coming in at 700. And that's what I call it within my spiritual grief healing program. When you're able to get your vibration high enough where you're able to know there's an afterlife and you're able to connect with your loved one and get afterlife signs and symbols, you're able to get meaningful dreams from your loved one in heaven, and you know there truly is no loss. When you're able to shift your mindset, no matter what religion you're in, you will experience more peace and clarity around the spirit world, and you will be able to live your life with more peace, joy, and love. The target energy is always going to be 700, but even if you can get up to 500, which is love, that would dramatically change your energy. If you can get to neutrality at 250, that's significantly higher than grief at 75 or fear at 100. The whole idea is to raise your vibration, and it is so important. Every single individual is responsible for their own vibration and frequency and how they impact their family and loved ones. If you'd like to know more about my spiritual warrior training that I'm now offering to the public, there is a link right below this video, and I also have the link for my spiritual grief healing program. Be sure you check those out. Be sure that you're loving yourself enough to take responsibility and to see the big picture, to know that collectively we are all experiencing this and that we can actually do this healing, learn the spiritual skill set to raise our vibration and really keep the collective vibration higher on earth. I want to thank you so much for being here. I know I'll probably get a lot of questions or comments about this. If you have questions specific to these programs, I'm going to ask you to put those down in the comments below. And if you need more understanding about these topics, let me know that in the comments as well. I have over 600 videos on my channel. I do have some that cover some topics around spiritual attack. And if you're looking for something more specific, please let me know that too. As always, I really appreciate you being here, and I look forward to helping you become a spiritual warrior and healing your heart and lifting your vibration. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.